Hi, I'm Claire Turner-Marshall from the Rotary Club of Tamworth. I've made this video for you to go along with the sheet that I have prepared to help you with how you're going to grow your membership. So get a pen and paper ready. I'm going to give you some ideas, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you the process that we at the Rotary Club of Tamworth have gone through to actually really increase our membership. So let's get started. Step number one. The question you've really got to ask yourselves is, why do you want to grow the membership in your club? Now, this might seem like a really obvious question, but the reality is you are constantly being told by RI and by RIBI that you need to grow membership, but you really need to work out why you want to have more members. Is it because you want to do more work in the community? Is it because you're being told to grow your membership? Is it because you have got an ageing membership in your club, or you've got a male only membership in your club? What you've got to look at is really why you want to do this, because anything that actually gets a really great end result starts with a really powerful why. So what I want you to do is I want you to have a brainstorming session within your club where you actually discuss why you want to increase it. So within this discussion, it is about asking yourself, why have numbers got to the level they've got to? Has it been that you just haven't actively marketed for new members, or has it been that people have just left and died off for various different reasons? But you've got to look at the reasons why this has happened. And what does it mean, again, if you have more members? And, why is it that you want to increase your membership? Because by getting really clear on all of these points, it will help you to actually prepare a much more robust plan that is more likely to work than not. So the next step is, what is the analysis of your club, which is step 2. What is working well in your club at the moment? What's not working so well? What has stopped you from attracting new membership to date? Because when we actually start considering how many times we meet, the time of our meetings, the style of our meetings, all of these things really do have a bearing. One of the key things that we did at Tamworth was we cut our meetings down to 2 a month. So we went for the first and third Tuesday of every month. And when there's a 5th Tuesday, we have a social evening. The key to this is that in the day and age and the modern world that we live in today, younger people, who are generally the target audience for a lot of clubs, don't have the time that historically people used to do. And also, as within our club, we've got quite a few mums in our club. So the reality is, going to a weekly meeting with children is probably not something which is accessible to every single mum. So it may be that you need to consider actually changing the time of your meeting, the day of your meeting, and potentially the frequency of your meeting. What you've got to do is you've got to look at what is going to make your club successful. And if you're very staid in your ways and you don't want to change, I refer you back to step 1 as to why do you want to grow your membership. And if it is just because you're being told to, well, then maybe you need to consider what your options are. Step 3 is thinking about who. Who do you want to attract? What is the demographic of the person or the people that you want to attract into your club? Do you want to attract more women? Do you want to attract more men? Do you want to attract younger members? What is it that you feel that you need within the club? Because only when you get very clear on what it is that you actually want are you really going to achieve the outcome that you're looking for. So spend some time again on all of these points, brainstorming within the club as to why they're important to you and what it is that you're actually trying to achieve. At Tamworth now, we've got an average age of probably below 50, because one of the big focuses that we've had is on younger members. A lot of the projects that we have require people that are very fit and able. And the beauty of the demographic within our club now is we've got the amazing wisdom within the club that are helping us and guiding us and showing us how to be good Rotarians and how to manage a lot of these projects and do the things that we do. And then we've got the younger members that are actually able to do more of the work and we share the load. So we do more the practical and the physical side of things, and the older members within the club will do more of the administrative roles. So think about this, because this again is going to be a really key guide onto how you grow your club. So let's move on to step 4, which is promotion. How are you actually promoting your club? So if you've decided that you do need to achieve higher numbers within membership in your club, how is it you are actually going to do this? Do you use social media? Social media platforms nowadays, especially Facebook, is really great for Rotary clubs. We don't tend to use anything else other than that at Tamworth, and the reason for that again is about being realistic, about having somebody man this and continually put information on there so you keep the engagement of your audience. How to maximise your social media is a whole other area, and it's not one I'm actually going to cover today, but that is something we can give you some more help and support on should you wish. But again, what you've got to think about is your presence on social media and how do you grow that. We have put a lot of consistent effort into our social media profile at the Rotary Club of Tamworth for over 5 years now. And over the Christmas period, when we had our Santa Sleigh appeal, we were reaching over 30,000 people a week, which was partly to do with the consistency of the posts and the information that we were sharing. Also, it was obviously the subject matter, because people are very keen to know when Santa's going to come. The reality is we were consistent, we responded, and we kept people informed. In doing this as well, what it then enabled us to do was actually jump in with some of our other local community pages, which I highly encourage you to do, because every town now has a local community page, multiple local community pages. In Tamworth we have several, and we actually partnered with one of the very big organisations, the Spotted organisation in Tamworth, and everything that we shared on our page was also shared onto Spotted. So this again made a massive difference. That page has got a reach of over 300,000 people a week. So the results and the proof that what we did worked was we were up 10% this year on the amount that we raised on our sleigh, and it was all to do with the consistency and the effort that we put in. So when you're thinking about promotion again, think about again when the type of people that you want to attract. Do you want to do some business networking? Business networking is a great opportunity because Rotary is one of the largest business networks on the planet. In addition to business networking, you can have social networking. We're actually planning at Tamworth a Rotary tour of Tamworth. So we're going to visit various different venues within the town, and we're going to open this up to the general public. Again, we are going to use social media to promote this very, very heavily. We're going to be creating events on Facebook and actually inviting people to come along to these events. Part of the power of this as well is using and leveraging the existing members. I am a member of Rotary because my dad is a member of my Rotary club. So when we think about family members, we have quite a few husband and wife couples within our club. And a lot of the people within the club generally had known somebody in the club already. There were a few new members that we've attracted recently through the business networking that was completely unique for. And they didn't know anybody at all. They wanted to contribute and make a difference. So what I want to encourage you to do is really think about the type of people that you want to attract to your club and how you are actually going to attract them. Moving on to step 5 then, and step 5 is consistency. In actually creating this membership plan and this membership drive, what you really need to do is have somebody in charge of the campaign. Because the thing is, like anything, if we don't plan it properly and if we don't take consistent action, and when I say plan it properly, this doesn't need to be War and Peace. It doesn't need to be some great big long document that you spend hours putting together. It can be as simple as taking the sheet that I have sent over with this video and simply writing down your ideas on this sheet, and then getting another piece of paper and mapping out the weeks and the months and literally noting what are you going to do in those periods. When are you going to have your events and your promotions? What is your plan? One of the things that I learned many years ago in business is a little saying that is apparently an SAS saying, and it's proper prior preparation prevents pathetic poor performance. It's known as the 7 Ps. That's proper prior preparation prevents pathetic poor performance. When you actually plan something and you plan it well, and like I say, it doesn't need to be a huge document. It can be something very simple of this is when we're going to have a networking, this is when we're going to do this is what we're going to do to promote it. In doing all of these things and actually having that consistency in place, and not just doing this for a month. We have been on a membership drive since last September at our club. We had a little break in December with all the prep with our Santa sleigh, and we stopped mid-November due to all the preparations for the sleigh, but we are now back in full swing of promoting membership for our club. In the time that we did do that promotion, we attracted 6 new members to the club, which I think is pretty good considering we didn't have huge attendance to our business networking. So the positive there is we had a very good result based on the effort that we put in. So plan it. Have one person, maybe 2 people that are on a membership committee that are actually driving this continually. And within this process, what you really need to do is any people that come to visit your club, you need to make sure that you follow up as well, because a follow-up procedure is absolutely key. If they expressed an interest, then get onto them and find out when it is they're going to join. Take the presumptuous approach, because if they enjoyed it and they saw something in it and they want to give back to their community, the chances are they just need a nudge from you to actually join. So moving into step 6. Step 6 again works along with the previous steps, and that is numbers. Set a target of how many members you actually want to have in your club. And when I say this, I don't mean replacing members that have dropped off and you want to get back to where you were. Think about a number that you would like to attract and be very realistic about it. Sometimes we can sit there and say, well, I want to get 30, 40 new members, and that seems like a really easy task. But in reality, it probably isn't as simple as you think it is. And also what we don't want to do is set yourselves up to fall, because if you set yourself a target of 20 and you only achieve 2, okay, you've achieved 10% of your target, which is great. But what we really want you to do is set a figure that's achievable, that is really going to make a difference, and then you can build on it. Once you've worked out how to do it and you've started to do that well, building on it is a much easier step. So then the final step is step 7. And that is that once you've done all of this, review everything that you have written, challenge what ideas you've come up with. Because again, the thing that we need to focus on here is actually executing a plan that is effective. If you've come out with pie in the sky ideas that even you don't believe are going to work, then the chances are they're probably not going to. So for you to really achieve the goals and the intentions that you've set out for your club, it's really important that you're very realistic and you follow all of the steps that I've shared here. I could go on for much longer than I have done, and if anybody does want any further information, you're welcome to come and join us at the Rotary Club of Tamworth, or get in touch with me and we can talk to you about ideas and share a little bit more about the exact how we have achieved what we've achieved. The thing is, Rotary is something that's really important to every single one of us that's involved in it. And that is a big part of why I said step 1 is the why. Because when we reconnect with the reason why we do things, actually it brings that fire back into our belly and it gets us super excited about why we do this in the first place. So thanks very much for your time and listening to my video. I hope that you have found it interesting. I hope that it has given you some ideas, and good luck. I wish you much success with the growth of your club. Speak to you soon.